I guess the next section, I guess it's like a open discussion whiteboard session about like a typical customer installation of NetBeez. I want to give you like some, what happens, how you monitor your network with NetBeez. So maybe let's take the case of an enterprise network, a wide area network. We have a lot of people from ISPs or banking. We can take like a generic like enterprise with, 50 network locations. They have maybe wired and wireless, different offices. So how we would basically install NetBeez in such an environment. And also how to configure NetBeez, right? You see a lot of tests, maybe it's confusing. So let's imagine I'll take a whiteboard. So let's imagine we have like 50 network locations. Generally, like we ask how many locations do you have, and then like what are the services that you would like to monitor on this network. So for example, we might have like a mix of applications, and on the other side, like have a better understanding of network performance of my network. So let's imagine like, for example, monitor applications. So let's say like a network latency on the WAN. Latency. And then maybe we want to reach some internal extranet site at the data center or some cloud applications. So web applications. Generic, of course. Okay. Services. And then, of course, each office will have wireless because most of the users have now a wireless NIC. So let's put wireless. Okay. Anything else that generally like you guys would monitor or need to be aware of from your end users? Bandwidth. Okay. Let's put bandwidth.
How about the Gopher protocol?
The what? I'm sorry, Gopher. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. What is that? TCP, UDP? I'm not familiar with Gopher.
Oh, it's
You might as well monitor.
I was joking.
You're going to want to
You
worry about.
might as well worry about finger while you're at it.
I'm not too worried about that.
Right. So.
Didn't you say you could do something like an MOS score for voice?
Yes. Yeah. The VoIP test that I was showing you before. Yeah. Basically, they execute a stream every so often. You decide the schedule, and then we give you a MOS score, an estimate.
Yeah, that's definitely something we would want to monitor across 50 locations. Yeah.
So VoIP, I guess, yeah. So what codec do you have? G711, G729? So probably the 711.
Above.
Okay.
Both.
Right. Okay. So this is a typical scenario, like of how to use NetBeez. Very simple, nothing crazy. But the way we address this problem is very simple. Like first of all, you have an on-premise server or cloud, but oftentimes with so many agents, you prefer having everything on your data center. And then since you're monitoring also the wireless, you would have like 100 agents. So basically 50 fast Ethernet. And 50 Wi-Fi, right? So what you'll end up is having like one office at each office, like one wired and one wireless agent. So you can see at the same time the end-to-end latency, but also compare that on the wired with the wireless one. So if you see packet loss on the wireless but not on the wired, it's clearly like a wireless issue rather than an overall uplink connectivity issue at the one level. Then, of course, the network latency it can be monitored, between all your locations with a full mesh of tests. So with this one, generally, we would configure a full mesh. So now, this you have to be careful with the full mesh of ping and traceroute test. Right? So you would build like in the target section. Maybe you can show it. I don't think we have it. But yeah, I don't think we have it. But it would be a full mesh of ping and traceroute test. Generally, you wouldn't do like all the location between all the location because you have the kind of full mesh problem, 50 by 49 divided by 2 tests. But you can take a subgroup of locations. If you have different clouds, maybe you put like 2 or 3 agents per cloud. So to take a sample out of that specific wide area network cloud. Then for a web application is, as you saw, very simple. We don't do transactions, but at least you can understand if it's accessible from all the locations and if a problem is at the network or at the application layer. So that's a simple like ping, DNS, HTTP, and traceroute. HTTP type of test. The wireless, you're covered with the wireless agent, so you can have that visibility. And for the bandwidth now, we included, for that reason, the speed test. So you can, if you have a split tunnel, you can really like check what is the bandwidth. But if you have, so speed test, especially if you have like a split tunnel. But if you have perhaps like a hub and spoke, you can use iPerf, right? With iPerf, you can do it. If you have a dedicated lease line, you can do an iPerf maybe to your data center because you want to make sure that from to the data center the line is good, and then up to the internet you can do it from the data center. So you can do that iPerf. And this is like hub and spoke. Okay, and then lastly is voice over IP. You can accomplish that with the VoIP schedule test periodically.
Do you have people putting them in public clouds as well?
I'm sorry?
Do you have people putting the software agents in their public cloud?
Yeah, they do actually, to monitor like public website that they offer.
Yeah, okay.
So they do that. And also to fault isolate a problem with the cloud application.
Sure.
So to understand if it's their internal problem or it's common across the internet. Yeah, so that's a great use case. Yeah.